This is the Rebel Scum podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You've always scum. Rebel scum.
What's up, James? We're back once again. You're muted. You're still
tangled.
Muted. Well, boom, well, bang. We're back at it again, baby. Rebel Scum Podcast, episode. Actually, I know this. 289. I'm Brock. This is James. Welcome to the
Howdy.
podcast.
This is a good time.
Hello.
It's a good time. You know why it's a good time?
Yeah. Why? What? I thought we were being dramatic.
The most technical difficulties you can have to start a show, that's where I'm at. Star Wars
is on a bit of a break right now, so we can kind of relax, zone out, have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit back and enjoy. I don't know. What are people watching today? Are people excited about Secret Invasion? I have yet to watch the second one. I do want to watch it. What else? What else is? I don't know. What do we digest? The third one is out today because today is Wednesday.
Yes.
I keep forgetting what day it is this week.
You know what? I don't know how it's going, but apparently the first one was the second worst viewed Marvel show. Yeah, I honestly, I know we're not going to talk about it, but I do think superhero fatigue is real, and I think people are kind of like,
yeah.
I honestly, I do. I think people are kind of like, okay, whatever. And then also, I think the same thing happens with Star Wars, where I think there was Star Wars fatigue too, but I think it's also like, why am I going to sit and watch this episode weekly when I'll just wait for them all to be on and then watch them on my own pace? I think that's another factor. So for me, I'm the same with Mandalorian because it picked up as it went on. I'm curious what these viewerships will be when it's all said and done and it's out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when is Ahsoka coming out? It's August, but when?
August 23rd.
So we still have a long way to go.
And I'm so upset about that, Brock. I'm on paternity leave at the last week of July until the 24th of August. I'm like, you had all this time for me to say. And it's like I get one episode. I get one episode. So my hope is that by the end of this episode here, Kathleen Kennedy is fired for making that decision. That's my hope. I was so excited. They're like, August is Ahsoka. I'm like, yeah, all month. I get all month. And they're like, the 23rd. I was like, you jerks.
Well, in between no Star Wars stuff, I have been keeping busy. I've read 2 more High Republic things. Now, before you get impressed, one of them was the script for the audio play of Battle of Jeddah. Interesting book. I think it would probably have been better to listen to audio. Though, I don't know if you know, well, you have a Kobo, but I read a lot of digital books on my Google Books app. And there's a section, and maybe all of them have it. I don't know. It's just the only one I use. There's a section that says read aloud, and a computer voice reads to you. It's not as good as an audio book, but it's like when you're driving and it's a book you just want to get through, it's perfect. I tried to do that with Ready Player 2 on 1.5 speed, and I still hated that book. So I would
love to hear your thoughts on that book.
Oh, God. Never again. I was just like, I was going to spite read it, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? So I read Battle of Jeddah. Very cool. Fits in a lot of the characters from the previous High Republic stuff. And I read Journey to Race to Planet X, which is the young adults Star Wars book as well. So it's like, again, doing the same formula of like they have a whole bunch of characters of just across the board and they smatter them throughout. Still wondering why they jump like 100 years into the past from phase 2 to phase 1. I don't know. Would it be good like movie or TV down the road? Absolutely. They've created some interesting characters that like maintain across the board. So I'm hoping to read the next one, which is I think the second book of the adults, like whatever, Cataclysm, which is like they're all C names. I was like, Convergence is the first one. This one's Cataclysm. The covers kind of look the same. Yeah, so I'll report back on that. Obviously, no one here cares because I don't think anyone's reading High Republic, but
I'll bet you Dale is.
oh yeah, you're right.
I'm not reading it.
I lost you again. Like I can see you, I can't hear you.
I'll probably get into it at some point. I don't know when. I'm in the middle of reading The Witcher right now. I've been reading it for a year. I haven't picked it up. And then there's something else I'm in the middle of reading as well. So I might get to High Republic. I did read a Star Wars book. Anyway, it was a while ago. It was actually, I think, 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
You know what? The thing is, and it's superhero fatigue. There's just too many Star Wars books. So I'm at the point now, I'm like, what one do I want to read? And I haven't. And the thing is, books. I mean, I should get a library card because you can read library books on the Kabo. Yeah. But my problem is books are so damn expensive also.
Yeah.
Everything is. But books are so expensive. It's like I've got to really pick and choose what I want. And so I got the Leia book by Claudia Gray for free with my Kabo points because you get points if you spend way too much money on it, which is easy. So I got that for free a while ago. But that was the last one that I bought, I think. I think I read one, but it was just so expensive. I got to pick and choose. So when I'm done reading these Witcher books, I might get back into Star Wars reading. But we need to bring back the books and comics segment. I think the fans are demanding it. They're not. The only demand we've ever gotten was the Hollow News song.
I mean, I can pretty much guarantee I'll read all the High Republic stuff because I pay for all my books. But
also the one big fact. No, I know, but the one big factor is you are way more of a reader than I am.
Yeah.
I like to read, but you read. Like it's different. I'm like I'm gonna read, but I'm like I need to set aside my day, plan my day around reading. You're just like in the middle of a freaking convention center. You'll read a book because that's just you're wired that way.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing when you can like. I just digested the Seth Rogen book in like a day and a half because it's just like Seth Rogen just talking about whatever. You can fly through that. But anyways, yeah. High Republic. Like I still enjoy High Republic. I can't really figure out what exactly they're doing. Whatever. It's cool. I will continue to read this until we get to the Acolyte in hopes that the Acolyte will make some sense.
Maybe the Acolyte will make me want to read High Republic also. Maybe I'll be like, oh, I don't know. I hope it does. I hope it's not like you watch the Acolyte and you're like, what's this, Brock? And you're like, whoa, in book 7. I hope it's more like when I watch the Acolyte, I'm like, I'm really intrigued in this time period. I want to watch it. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm really excited for that. There was a rumor a little while ago that show was canceled. I don't know if you heard that rumor.
Oh, Acolyte?
I went on the Twitters, which it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And they said that the Acolyte was canceled. They finished shooting it in the beginning of June, but it was canceled. They said we're Batgirling this one.
Yeah. I was just gonna say Batgirl.
Although, they Batgirled that one. How R.I.P. to Willow as well. What? There's a movie just came out 2 months ago, and Disney's like, nah, you're done. They're gonna get rid of it. A 2-month-old movie. Like, I bet people probably haven't even found. I don't know what it is. It's just a sci-fi movie. I think with the actress from the girl from Ghostbusters Afterlife. I haven't seen it. I just saw articles about it. I'm like, I didn't even know this was a movie. I don't know. It's so we live in such a weird time where like now streaming is operating like movie theaters. If you don't make it in the first weekend, you're out of here. Like I was, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like I'm talking about The Witcher. I'm watching that season 3 right now. I think I'm 2 or 3 episodes in with Aaron. We're like just taking our time. Like, we'll watch it. We'll watch it. Yeah.
You got to get your Cavill while you can, because he's on the way. Why? I was so confused because my wife loves Henry Cavill. So like we watch Witcher together. I actually like, if you like Henry Cavill, you'll probably like The Witcher. And she's really into fantasy novels now too. So it was right up her alley. And like we started the second season, and we're like, we didn't hate it, but it wasn't grabbing us as the season before. But like, I thought that season 2 was just season 2, not season 2 part 1 or whatever. So when I saw he's back again, I'm like, well, then why are we all worried he's not coming back for season 3?
No, it's season 4. 3. Season 4 is not. I actually like season 2 better than season 1. They changed the source material and he wasn't happy about it, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know, because I haven't read all the books. Like I said, I'm still in them. So the season 3 I haven't read, but season 1 is very similar to the first book, which is a bunch of short stories.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I could tell, they just kind of took the short stories and turned them into one. Like they kind of pieced them together to be one big story. So like all the little events in season 1 are basically separate story, like individual short stories that are put into this one novel. Then the second book I read was all one story, and it was fairly similar to season 2, I thought. But I guess Henry Cavill and a lot of Witcher fans didn't. I don't know. I look at things very differently. I usually also don't like things that are like based on books. Like I'm always like, it's always weaker. So over my 42 years, I've really focused on separating them as much, because it ruined Jurassic Park and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's ruined a lot of movies for me when I'm like comparing it. So now I try to separate. But I thought it was fine. Season 3 we started, but yeah, Henry Cavill's leaving because of all like he didn't like the showrunners, and then like it's gonna be Liam Hemsworth. And I gotta be honest with you, I really don't care. Yeah. I don't like it when actors change. I think they shouldn't. But I also, because I'm old now, I also don't care. Mm-hmm. I think I like Henry Cavill better than Hemsworth. I think I've seen Hemsworth he was in an Expendables movie I saw.
Yeah.
And The Hunger Games. And that's all I've seen him in.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've seen Henry Cavill as Superman and The Witcher, basically. And that's it. So I don't know. I really don't care. I'm sure it won't be as good, though.
Who knows? I don't know. I just like, why announce any of that? I know like they kind of have to do it for like the film rags and whatever, but like if it's not even, it was such a big hot topic like 6 months ago, and the series, the second part of season 2 just came out, and I'm like, well, why not? Why? I don't know. I get it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe
you don't. Wait, this is season 3, Brock.
Oh, I thought it was season 3.
Maybe you missed season 2 and you need to.
No, I saw season 2 where the girl has eyebrows all of a sudden. So no, like, yeah, I like the first one. We just couldn't. The second season, whatever, didn't grab me. So
yeah, so I think, and I like that one, but I like it. I like them all. I don't really care. I have these soundtracks on vinyl for both, and I sit in the corner listening to Witcher music, and sometimes the bard playing. And the video game, I'm very bad at the video game. I should let everyone know. Anyway, let's talk about Star Wars. Before we get into the R-rated Zack Snyder, James Mangold topic, Kathleen Kennedy was interviewed. Did you see the interview that she had?
No, I don't think so.
Where everybody kind of twists her words, but she said it's time to kind of move on from George Lucas. They culminated that, and now it's time to move on from his characters and his stories and move past it. And my feeling on that, Brock, like that's paraphrasing what she said, but my feeling is yes. It is time. Let's move on. Let's move forward. This is what I thought the sequel should have been. The sequel should have let the past die, kill it if you have to, and give me the new crap. I'm ready for the new crap. Don't disrespect the old crap in the new crap. I'm not saying that, but I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to move forward on every IP there is. Let's move on. I'm good with it. Like, I mean, look, I love Indiana Jones. I haven't seen the new one. I love Indiana Jones. He's 80 years old. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make it Chris Pratt. Make Chris Pratt the voice of it, animated Indiana Jones, but not live action. But like, I'm ready to move on. Give me the new generation and I'm going on with these stories because, like I said with The Witcher, I don't care anymore. Just give me the new guys, give me the new blood, and I'm in. But I wanted to talk to you about it and see if she hasn't been fired yet, Heidi. I want to hear what you might have thought about those words of wisdom.
Whatever. It's like, I mean, I have completely embraced High Republic, and aside from Yoda, there's like no characters we know outside of it. I'm down because it's like a good Star Wars book doesn't rely on a specific character; it relies on certain like tropes, you know. So like, there was something I was thinking about recently. I can't remember what it was, but I mean, like, you know, we can kind of see it in Mandalorian to an extent. It's just kind of, I mean, Ahsoka possibly could be as well. I know it exists in the Skywalker saga to an extent, but like, if those shows prove that you can, like Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford's never going to do another one of those movies. Like, he's getting, well, though Harrison Ford is working more than he's ever in his entire life. But, like, Disney owns Indiana Jones now. So, yeah, maybe they'll make this movie, or they've made this movie, and maybe they'll wait 5 to 10 years. But, like, they own the IP. Like, it's Indiana Jones. Like, they'll do something. And, like, there's so many instances of, like, how many Bonds do we have? How many Batmans do we have? And you either like some or you don't like some. It is what it is. They're still going to make it, so move on. Like, it's just like, we have to. It just like, you can't get Mark Hamill to do things anymore, and Harrison Ford, even though he's working constantly, he doesn't want to be in Star Wars, so we can't focus on the characters. Could you do like animations where their voices kind of sound like the original things and then do more stories? Absolutely. But like, yeah, like, move on.
Yeah, well, I think Indiana Jones, though, I like I said, I haven't seen the new one. I've heard a lot of people seem to like it, like critics or whatever, but people who watch it seem to like it. They're like, it's an Indiana Jones movie, which is why you go see Indiana Jones. I think. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but when I love Indiana Jones, and Aaron got me this like making of book thing like years ago, and in it there's I believe it's a conversation transcribed with Kasdan and Lucas and Spielberg, and they're talking about Indiana Jones. And I think this is when they go from Smith to Jones is in this conversation. But in the conversation, they're like, it's called Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I think it's Kasdan or Spielberg's like, why? He goes, because we're going to do a bunch of these movies, and they're all going to be called Raiders of this, Raiders of that, Raiders of Rough. And it ended up being Indiana Jones. You're right. But like, Disney can just go back and make a Raiders movie.
Oh yeah.
And you could cast anybody
as
the kid. And you could, and if that actor doesn't work, guess what? We're making another Raiders movie, and the Raiders is this actor now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, they can milk that. They could do a series on Disney Plus called Raiders of, or just Raiders, and they could do stuff like that. So I think it's there for the taking. And again, I would totally be down for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because,
why not?
but we aren't normal, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows what you can do? It's like, people don't like the Flash, but then you give them Spider-Verse, and you give them like little nuggets here and there, and people go crazy. Like, it's like, who knows what people are gonna like? It's like if, let's say 1,000 people don't like it, then you're doomed, right? Because those 1,000, it becomes a pyramid scheme where those 1,000 people tell at least 3 other people, and then it grows and grows and grows and grows. So it's like, I don't know why people don't exactly like dislike the Flash, or just not even matter like or dislike. They're just not seeing the movie. I don't know what it is. Why are people like? Why is, spoilers, across the Spider-Verse, they drop in Donald Glover as Prowler for a split second, and the entire crowd I was in goes nuts. Like it's one thing to like Spider-Man, to know the whole internet story of Miles Morales' history and Donald Glover's association with it, to then drop him in for that split second, you're like,
well, thanks for ruining the movie.
No, that's the one small thing, but like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
I also think where you saw it probably factors into that as well. I don't know if I saw it would have the same reaction.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it's. I mean,
I'm curious. Right. I would be very curious. Now I kind of want to do that social experiment. I can't comment on any of that because I haven't seen either one of those movies. I'm
Yeah.
hoping to somehow see The Flash this weekend, maybe.
And-
Probably
and
not.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there is a internet thing in The Flash that's similar to that of Donald Glover in The Flash. So it's just like, so it's like, but people aren't going crazy for it, what I can tell. But maybe it's just because people don't see it. I don't know. Maybe there's enough hatred for Ezra Miller that definitely kills the box office, and then maybe there's just people like, I don't care about The Flash, which like I don't know.
I think if The Flash came out like 7 years ago, it would have done like $1 billion because I remember my nephew, who's obsessed with Spider-Man to this day, he's been obsessed all his life with Spider-Man. But there was a period of time when The Flash probably trumped Spider-Man for like maybe a year or two when he was maybe about 4 or 5 and he's 12 now, 13. So like 10 years ago, let's say 9 to, and he's not the only kid. The Flash was a big thing back then. Because I remember going to Walmart and there'd be like The Flash and Spider-Man. I'm like, The Flash? What the hell is like The Flash? And every kid was like, I love The Flash. I'm like, who loves The Flash? And maybe there was an animated show. I don't know what it was, but there was an obsession with The Flash. And now I can tell you, he doesn't care. I mean, he might want to see the movie because he loves superhero movies. Yeah. But he's not a Flash guy anymore. He's still Spider-Man. Like and he loves Miles Morales. Like, don't even get me started. But like, he loves Spider-Man still. But he doesn't. The Flash is just another character to him. So I think he missed the boat that way. And I think also the DC shakeup is killing it. Yeah. And superhero fatigue also, I think, plays a factor as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's maybe in relation to like the Flash show, like, because it's been on, I think it just finished this year. Yeah. 9 years. So like, and
it was announced the same year as the Flash movie.
Yeah. Like, I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, oh, did you know they cut Grant Gustin? She loves the Flash show. She's like, did you know they cut Grant Gustin out of the Flash movie? She's like, really? Oh, that would have been great. It's like, yeah, especially since like Ezra Miller was on 1 episode or 2 episodes or whatever of the Flash. Like, when the movie was supposed to come out, when it's supposed to come out, you're like, oh, and that's.
I have a friend of mine just saw it yesterday, and he said that he thought that the Arrowverse did the Flashpoint better than the movie did. That's what he said. And I can't comment on any of that, obviously. I know you like the Flash, and I think I'm going to like it because I saw like the end credit scene, Brock, and I'm all in on that. But like my thing is, why would you not put him in the movie? Like,
I don't know.
It's frustrating. You just said Donald Glover in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like, there's like an awareness that you have to have for your fan base. And the Flash fan base should, like, you should be like, even if it's like the director, whoever it is, someone has to step in and be like, no. Yeah. Because I know, spoilers, I know the Flash has another Flash has a cameo in the movie. You picked the wrong Flash. Like, they picked the
Damn
wrong
it, Barry.
Flash. There was like 3 Flashes they actually probably could have put in there for people to like get excited about, and you picked the wrong one.
Yeah.
So I don't. Now that's another. I mean, I think if they would have announced he's in the movie, people would have gone nuts. And Ezra Miller also is a problem, also for that movie, I think too. So
it's just funny because like Across the Spider-Verse and Flash coming out at the same time, which originally wasn't the plan, but like Across the Spider-Verse beat Flash to the catch of like a multiverse movie at the time. So it's like, well, I think the Spider-Verse did it better. So
and Spider-Man Far From Home, yeah. No Way Home, and then Multiverse of Madness. Like, DC had the multiverse in their pocket before Marvel, like years before Marvel.
Yeah.
And they waited until everyone's basically sick of a multiverse now, except for Spider-Man. But I think the Spider-Verse movies are different from, it's kind of like Everything Everywhere All at Once is different from a superhero multiverse movie. And I think Spider-Man is different too, because that's what those movies are about. It's not a gimmick for a generic MCU Spider-Man, which that movie crushed it also. It made over $1 billion during COVID. Yeah. And you kind of like, you feel like Michael Keaton probably should have had that. Like, people should have gone to go see Michael Keaton, but he's also like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are a lot of 20 and under-year-old Spider-Mans, 30-year-old and under Spider-Mans. Whereas Michael Keaton is 40-year-old and over Spider-Man. He doesn't have what Garfield and Maguire, especially Maguire, I think, have. And I don't like Christian Bale, who I guess they wanted. Nobody really has that. So I don't know. I guess it's different, but I like you said, like you made you want to watch 89 Batman again. So that's good.
Yeah. No, it's anyways. I don't know. It's to each their own, I suppose. I don't know. We're entering a weird saga in this month where like the big like vying movies are Barbie and Oppenheimer.
And Mission Impossible.
And Mission Impossible, sorry, yeah. But like the marketing campaign, the guerrilla marketing, like
I keep sending you stuff because it's awesome.
Those like they're paying Instagram people or content creators to make all these memes. They're paying them. Like there's like it's just too perfect. Like I get it. You slap Christopher Nolan's name on anything, it could be hibachi. Like, no, the story of the man who made the hibachi. Like, but Christopher Nolan, he's gonna blow something up in it. And then of course, Margot Robbie doing anything. Greta Gerwig for independent indie film. I don't know, she's not really indie film anymore, but like, you know what I mean? Like indie darling. Like the fact that those two are vying for box office space, but then also that like the internet is almost into it as much as they are into the Grimace Shake is like mind-boggling. I just like wow. But yeah, no, like that's crazy. Like there has to be marketing. There's no people like sitting around on Reddit. They're like, hey, let's talk about Barbie and Oppenheimer.
It's also great because Tom Cruise did a thing with Macquarie where they bought tickets for Oppenheimer and Barbie opening night for both of them. Yeah. And then Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie did the same thing for Oppenheimer. And I'm like, it's also good because everything's bombing now too, right? Spider-Verse came out, did very well, and then everything since then is just tanking at the box office.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's good that they're kind of playing it like, hey, let's all go watch movies because they're all in the same business, right? None of them have jobs if people don't go see the movies. Netflix eventually won't pay them what the box office is going to pay them, so they need it. So it's good sportsmanship, and but the memes and stuff that are being created from these two movies that are so vastly different. Yeah. I wish the internet was around when Batman and Robin and My Best Friend's Wedding came out. They would have been great. And then My Best Friend's Wedding crushed it, and Barbie's looking to crush Oppenheimer as well. So people want joy. That's what I think. Oppenheimer's going to do well, but if Barbie's good, that's what people want. They want a good time, which is weird because The Flash looks like it's a good time. I think.
Yeah, I would say it does. Like, it's a lot more lighthearted than anything else we're putting out. Like, it's just like it's depressing to me that Batman constantly succeeds for DC to an extent. And then I guess Suicide Squad. And it's just like, the second Suicide Squad. Like, they're good, but it's just like, I don't know. I want you to see The Flash just for Michael Keaton. And it's just like, we could make this movie. We could make a movie. It doesn't have to be Michael Keaton, but like you can make a Batman movie like Batman 89 right now. And it would just be as good. And it doesn't have to be dark. It could just be, he's a detective and he's a Dark Avenger. Like, it's not like, oh, I put on the black eye makeup and then it's like, oh, my parents died. Like, yes, like it's
I've loved every Batman movie. I love the Batman, but I'm also at the point now where I'm like, my favorite Batman, I'm not even making this up because I love Forever, and I saw Batman and Robin twice in the theater.
Yeah,
but my favorite Batman is Ben Affleck. I'm like, and I love Michael. It's not that I don't like Michael Keaton, but I think maybe Ben Affleck's. But I'm like, I want to watch a freaking Ben Affleck Batman movie because I feel like he would be a fun Batman to watch.
He was.
Why are we talking about this?
No, I don't know because there's nothing to talk about in Star Wars. We should get to that one topic you had, but like Ben Affleck doesn't get a chance to have his own Batman. Yes. He's just there. He's like the second banana to everything.
Everything. But every time I see him though, I'm like, he's like, especially the Zack Snyder Justice League. I'm like, he is freaking a great Batman. I want to watch more.
They set up the idea that he is like a tactician. I don't think they've done that with any other Batman. No. Well, because like we haven't had a Batman that interacts with people. That's what Affleck's Batman is different. He's interacting with other heroes, not like his rogues gallery or his sidekicks.
Yeah.
Like, he is interacting with other superheroes on a superhero team. We haven't seen that. So that's like why he is so interesting and wasn't given his full due. But
yeah, that might be why I'm driving, because I did a ranking last year and I was like, Affleck, like I like Affleck. I think he's great. I don't think he got his due in terms of like playing it, but every time he is the character, I'm invested. I'm like, let's go. And Pattinson, I thought was fine for who that version was, but he needs to grow up. I think your face is frozen right now.
Oh, okay, great.
I wish I taped that.
Am I drinking waters?
No, you were like rolling your eyes at I said Pattinson was like, I like Pattinson Batman, but I'm also it's, you know what's funny, but I really love the Batman, but I watched this movie. First of all, it's a movie theater movie. You have to watch in the theater because it's hard. It's not like, you know how I watch the same movie 500 times in a row. It's not one you have to pay attention to that movie. But like, it's like you went dark, and then they're like, okay, let's go darker. And then people are like, you went too dark. And they're like, okay, how about you make a movie? And Matt Reeves like, okay, but I'm going to go darker. And I don't just mean like turn on a light. I mean like, I like the Joker's disfigured. I'm just like something like, and the thing is, and I love I do love that movie a lot, and I'm looking forward to part 2. But like the James Gunn, that's going to be directed by Muschietti, who did The Flash. I'm really excited for that one because I feel like lights will be turned on. And like I said, and the thing is, why I love Batman and Robin is because it reminded me of Adam West. Like because when I was a kid, Adam West was my Batman for 8 years until Michael Keaton showed up, right? Like I had 8 years of every Batman animated live action was Adam West. And then Michael Keaton's come along and they're like, no, he's dark. I'm like, what just happened to my Batman? And then when George Clooney came, I'm like, this is what I grew up with. So like it brings me back. Like it's ridiculous. I know what it is. But like, and I'm not saying that's what I'm looking for, but I'm looking forward to just like Batman having a good time on the screen again. I would really love to see yellow emblem too. I want the yellow back.
Yeah. I don't know. But let's talk about Star Wars, our little topic you had.
R-rated.
R-rated. I don't know.
Because Rebel Moon is a movie coming out in December, and Empire Magazine is highlighting it. It's on the cover of Empire Magazine right now, and it started with a pitch by Zack Snyder to Lucasfilm, and he said, I don't want to use any Star Wars characters, and it probably has to be R-rated. And then on another interview, James Mangold said he was very close to doing a Boba Fett movie, and it was going to be almost R-rated, like an almost R-rated Western. And they're separate interviews, not connected at all, but they're both, I'm just like, and I look at them, I say, okay, I'm like Zack Snyder, you want to make Starship Troopers. James Mangold, you want to make something else. For me, Brock, the R-rated thing, I don't know. I don't know why for Star Wars you need to do that. And for James Mangold, like I like Logan's a great movie, but for me, the weakest parts of that movie are the parts that made it R-rated with the swearing. So I feel like you don't need it. It's more of a crutch for a lot of filmmakers. And Star Wars, I don't know. It should be something that kids can go and watch and have a good time with. I'll leave it to you. Hello. Brock, your thoughts? Brock. Down and Out in Beverly Hills is not what's Down and Out in Beverly Hills? Should I Google it? Down and Out in Beverly Hills. While Brock's gone, I will Google it. Down and Out in Beverly. Can you hear me, Heidi? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. It's just me. 1986. Oh, I know this movie. Okay, I know this movie. For me, Star Wars doesn't need to be R-rated at all. I think I made that very clear. I love Zack Snyder. I'm a big Zack Snyder fan. Man of Steel is probably my one or two favorite comic book movie, and it's not rated R. I don't think it needs. I don't think superhero movies need to be rated R. I mean, the Joker's a different beast altogether, but I don't think superhero movies need to be rated R. And I don't think Star Wars needs to be rated R at all because it's for family, right? It's a family-friendly environment to go and see it. And that's how it's always been. It's based off of those old serials. And it should be a time for and kids need to use their imagination with Star Wars as well. So for me, R-rated has no place in Star Wars. Brock, what do you think?
I don't know. When I hear R-rated, all I think is DC, right? So,
but only the Jokers are rated in DC.
Yeah, but I just like Suicide Squad.
Oh, Deadpool.
It's like, well, yeah, like Deadpool. Like, it's just like. When I hear R-rated, I think that, and it's just like, are you doing something that's worthwhile doing it? I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm so on the fence about James Gunn, but like, he does make good stuff. He does make good content. I watched the Peacemaker show and loved everything about it, and it's like,
which is
I don't
R-rated.
know if it's rated R. Is it R-rated? So I don't know.
It would have to be, I would think, yeah.
It's not something I'm going to show any kids, right? And I would argue any of the Suicide Squads, 1 or 2, it's like, you're not going to show these to kids, even though, whatever, everyone saw the Jared Leto Joker. But, like, I don't know. I also said at the beginning of the show, it's like, hey, let's try something new. So if you can come up with something good, why not? I don't know.
I think Andor was close. They almost dropped the F-bomb and they got a hard no on it, which I'm fine with. You don't need to. But I think, like I said, I don't know if you heard, but I said Logan. Like, I think of Logan, and Logan's a great movie. Yeah. But my least favorite parts of Logan are like the R-rated parts where it's swearing. I'm like, because there's times when he swears, I'm like, you don't need to swear right now. You're just swearing to swear. And I feel like R-rated. See, the Suicide Squad, I think it uses the R rating, but a lot of times I feel like they use it as a crutch. They use a lot of comedians, especially, but writers use the swearing as a crutch and this as a crutch. It's like, you don't need it. You don't need blood and guts in Star Wars either. So what do you need the R for? Like Andor, as it is, pushed it to the, like, that's as close I think as you should get to an R is Andor. Like, it was right there. It's nitty. It's gritty. It could have gone over the edge, but it didn't. It stayed across. Kids aren't really going to watch it, but they can grow into it eventually, I think. And then when I say they're not going to watch it, not because they can't, because they're not going to enjoy it, because it's probably going to bore the hell out of them. But they'll appreciate it when they're older. And that's as close as I think Star Wars should get to the R rating. If you want to do R rating space stuff, go to Netflix like Zack Snyder did. Just go to Netflix.
It's like, it's just weird because it's like, what is even R rated anymore? Like, probably horror films, but like, what's the last action film that was R rated?
I'd imagine John Wick. I haven't seen it. I've never seen a John Wick.
There you go. Okay.
I've never seen a John Wick.
I watched the first 3 on a whim, and I was like, wow. But yeah, you're probably right. That's probably what it is. I'm like, Fast and the Furious is not. It's like, it's for La Familia.
Yeah, they're rated F for family.
For family. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah. I'm
not into it. Like, you want to do R-rated Star Wars, make something else. Like, know what you and you, like you said, DC. I think, I guess if you're doing like the Suicide, but I would imagine like the new DCU with James Gunn now and Safran in charge. I'm wondering if there would be a place for the Suicide Squad in that, and how, if Peacemaker will change now. Are they going to do that, or are they going to go more the Marvel route and make everything kind of like whatever PG or whatever Marvel? Like Marvel, every time you watch Marvel, even Werewolf by Night, which I thought was fantastic. But they're all like safe. Like it's like boundaries aren't being pushed. Although maybe Secret Invasion is, I don't know, but I feel like they're all kind of like, and maybe that's why people aren't watching these things as much, because they all kind of feel like the same, where you're like, it's just gonna be safe, like they don't go over. But I did love Werewolf by Night, by the way. Yeah, I love that.
That one was smart, and like released it at Halloween. I'm like, yeah, great.
Oh yeah, I was like, I think I watched it on Halloween with him. We're watching the Werewolf by Night, and very exciting stuff.
All right.
Never tell me the odds. I don't have the intro, so let's never tell me the odds.
Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you, me, and everyone in the vicinity of my voice, especially my wife, by Patreon.com. Patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, why don't you come on over and support us in any way you can? We greatly appreciate it, and we want to continuously talk about Star Wars and cough right in your face. The wonderful people that think we're just great are the following: Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Staniforth, Rez, Scott D, Josh Price,
Matt W, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girls 02, Gleek Play 1, Disney Desi, Charlotte Dennernerds, Kayla Davis, and Dale Erdman. And that wasn't a cough, Brock, it was a sneeze.
At least you muted.
I had to. Oh, it was coming and hot, because I am allergic to R-rated Star Wars. That's what it is. If they did make an R-rated Star Wars, I'd be all over it. I'd probably be like, this is the best Star Wars we ever got. Never tell the odds. Finn will appear in the Rey Skywalker movie. There's a rumor going around that Daisy Ridley and Lucasfilm are trying to get him back. Will Finn appear in the Rey Skywalker movie?
Yeah, probably, because I feel like every actor that says like I am never gonna do it again, all of a sudden just pops up like it, or like whatever. I'm going to go 75% on it.
Really?
I don't know, what is he doing right now? Like
he has a show or a movie with Jamie Foxx right now.
Okay, what is it called? Exactly.
It's called The Show with John Boyega and Jamie Foxx. Or a movie. I don't know what he's doing. He was in Detroit 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
That was a good movie. I don't know. I think, look, man, you bring that Brinks truck up, but I don't know how you have a Rey Skywalker movie without Finn once they made him Force sensitive, which I don't think they should have done. Once they did that, how do you not put them together if she's rebuilding the Jedi Order? Like, his character, like the Finn character, should be next to Rey in that storyline, like in some capacity. It doesn't need to be a main character, but like Finn would follow Rey, be with Rey. Like that's how that character is. So I'm gonna go 90% because if you don't, it's stupid. Stupid. Rebels.
He's in.
What's he in?
No, he's in They Clone Tyrone. Yeah, I heard about that movie. I haven't seen any trailers on it, but like, that's what he's
That's
doing.
the show, yes. I've only seen the poster. Next on, Rebels character will die in Ahsoka.
I'm going to go full Brock on that one because I know nothing about that show. So
no one really does. I'm going to go full Brock.
Oh,
full Brock. Rebels character would die. I don't know. Like, I mean, they're not going to kill Sabine. They're not going to kill Hera. Chopper, you're done. In our final, I don't know if you saw this interview with Kira, with Amelia. What's her name? Amelia Estevez. What's her name? Her and Ben Quaterneros. What's his name? Mendelsohn and Clark. Amelia Clark and Ben Mendelsohn did an interview together. And someone said about her character in Star Wars, and she kind of gave this dumbfounded look. And then Ben Mendelsohn kind of like push it aside. No telling the odds of Akira returning to Star Wars.
It would be super awesome. I've always thought what they did in Solo would be interesting to continue. And I know they did stuff with the comics, but likelihood, I'm gonna go 40%.
I'm gonna go 51%. I don't see why you wouldn't. Like Disney Plus, I think you could do a really good show with Kira as a character after Solo, and you don't have to even have Solo or Chewie in it. But I think they are, because that movie failed so poorly for them. I think they are trying to move away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing news today?
No
news.
No
news. Top 5.
Top 5.
I'm writing my top 5 now. I can't think of my last one.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go many quads. Top 5 characters to go on summer vacation with for a minimum of 10 days. It's a minimum of 10 days. Watto didn't make my list. I feel like he'd be a disaster on a vacation. Minimum 10 days. Let us know who you guys would go on vacation with in the Star Wars universe. Mine are all amazing. My number 5 is Chewie, because he would drive everywhere. Like, Chewie would be my DD. He would drive everywhere. The only problem with Chewie is I don't know if we could go anywhere hot, because he might, like, faint.
Chewie is also kind of my number 5 as well, but I took the spin on, like, go to where these characters exist. It's not like I'm going to Florida, I'm taking Chewbacca. So my number 5 was Ewoks Wicket / Chewbacca, because I want to hang on either on Endor or Kashyyyk. Because you know me, I like both those characters, so it's like it has to be on there. So it's gonna know number 5 just because.
Funny enough, my number 4 is Wicket, because if I go camping, I'm really gonna need Wicket to help me out camping. So that's my number 4 is Wicket.
My number 4, a new contender for characters, Captain Bombardier, because that place looks awesome. So you just go to that place and you throw the turtle or frog or whatever. I don't know, that they did the game with.
My number 3 is Grogu, because he is adorable, and I want Grogu.
Oh, I just realized I don't have a number 2, so I'll write it in. My number 3
Three.
No, I know. But my
Okay.
number 3 is Padme, because who doesn't want to go to Naboo? It's basically Italy.
True. Naboo's nice. Not a lot of sand on Naboo, so you can have a good time. Heidi says she would not choose Anakin because he doesn't like sand and she likes the beach.
That's why you go to Naboo.
That's why you go to Naboo. You go to Naboo. See, if I was going to Naboo, Brock, I would have picked C.O. Bibble. Can only mean one thing: invasion. My number 2 is Jar Jar Binks. Now you might be saying, but he would be annoying after 10 days, and I will tell you to shut up. That's it. I would just tell you to shut up. He's amazing. I would go with Jar Jar Binks anywhere.
I don't know what character to choose, so I'm just gonna go with the Emperor because I want to just hang out in Coruscant.
All right.
That was my write-in.
He could give you like a great tour. Like, yeah, this is where I killed Mace Windu. I don't know what impression that was just now, but Lucasfilm, call me. And my number 1 is Captain Bombardier, because I feel like if you went to an all-inclusive resort, he would be the best one to go with, or anywhere. Like, you could go somewhere, he'd be like, I'm gonna fit the bill here. I'm Captain Bombardier, and he's Jack Black, and he's the best.
My number 1 is Lando Calrissian, because that guy, travels in style, and he goes where he wants to go, and yada, yada, yada.
Absolutely. Heidi says, only if Bombardier sings Peaches. Peaches, peaches, peaches. By the way, movie of the year is Mario Brothers, the movie. Perfect movie, the greatest movie of all time. End of discussion. If they go, the sequel, they're going to go to the multiverse. Because every movie has to go to a multiverse now.
They should just. Well, no, I was gonna say they should pump the brakes on that, and like show you all the other characters of the Nintendoverse. But like I don't know. I just like a Smash Brothers movie could be a thing. But do you do Smash Brothers first and then give each of those characters their own little movie, or do you do all of those movies and then bring them together? I don't think it'll be a surprise one way or another. Like if Nintendo continues to make bangers of movies, like they'll just make whatever they want.
My thing is, I think Zelda should be done like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
but like Kirby, how does it like Illumination should be making a Kirby movie next?
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of characters. Like I mean, I'd probably like something a little bit more serious for Metroid. But yeah, if you could find a way to make all of these movies fit in your style, Illumination.
Yeah.
I don't know how Nintendo isn't signing it over, because they like the Mario Brother movie from the 90s is one that I am very passionate about. Like I watched that movie a bazillion times. And it's weird because now it's kind of got this weird cult following where people like it now. But it was hate. Like Nintendo wouldn't even talk about it for like 20 years, right? I don't even think they will to this day. And what Illumination did was they put Mario Brothers on the big screen. They made it respectable, and they made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
How do you not be like, okay, like honestly, Kirby, Star Fox?
Yeah.
Like those should be your next. Like Star Fox could be a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like Mario succeeds so well because there's just so much lore to it. You know, there's so much to it involved, right? It's like Kirby,
yes,
definitely could do it, but like Star Fox, it's like it'd be a good movie. It would be cool if they did like stop motion animation.
Yeah,
like what they looked like in the Super Nintendo. You know, remember the Super Nintendo box, like all the their like claymation, like that. I think would be the best move. But like, yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what?
You start with Mario, and then that's why that gives you these characters to play with, right? Because then people are like, it's kind of like the MCU. They start with Iron Man, who you kind of, and they're like, oh, by the way, these Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a good. But you make it good, and then people will go see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, Illumination, Nintendo, call us. We've got ideas. They're not good, but we got them.
Kirby, but it's like, oh God, what was the Pixar movie about emotions? Oh fuck, what was that?
Oh, the new one.
No, like the old one.
Oh, Inside Out.
Inside Out. You just make an Inside Out. But like a Kirby movie with that kind of like, oh, it's cute little characters. It's like, this movie is real and made me feel emotions. Like that's what it should be.
I remember I didn't like that movie and Aaron loved it. And Aaron doesn't like cartoons and I do. It was very strange to sit through that one. I was like, you're trying too hard. And I saw this on Inside Herman's Head 30 years ago. Sure. With Lisa Simpson's voice. What's her name?
Nancy Cartwright.
Nancy Cartwright. She was in no, Yeardley Smith. It's Yeardley Smith.
Yeardley Smith. Okay.
She was in Inside Herman's Head. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No. Happy Independence Day to our American friends, and happy Canadian Day to our Canadian friends, and happy Thursday to everybody else. It's not even Thursday. Yeah, you gotta plug in again. There you go.
It's annoying because I wasn't even unplugged. It barely came out. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Heidi, thanks for sticking around. Brock, you were always. Hold on. Scum.
Rebel Scum.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.